So as I was preparing this content for the 7-part series, I wanted to figure out where I really wanted to start with this story. It would be really easy to start on June 22nd, 1985, the day my parents were killed by a drunk driver. But since it is National Suicide Awareness Week in honor of my brother, I thought we'd start with him and share a little bit about his life story. He was born on December 17th, 1970, and the first 10 years of his life were, pretty normal childhood. My dad was learning the trade of becoming a sheetrock man, and then eventually became a general contractor while he was building up his business. My mom, who was always very creative and wanted to do something in that realm, decided to open up a flower shop in Brazoria, kind of on the other side of town. But eventually she was doing so well that my grandfather, Charles Casely, bought the building at the one main intersection down in Brazoria, Texas, and she painted it bright yellow and called it Sunshine Florist. And that business went on for many, many years. Not only was, though, my mother a florist and a business owner, she also was an artist too. And so all of the paintings, like that one right there, she did. And so that's something that I hold very dear. All the artwork in my house is just hers, She also sold a lot of her art, at art fairs. She always did paintings for family members, that sort of thing. So it's really cool to have a piece of her, knowing that, she did that. And then for my brother, he played football as a kid on the Pee Wee team. He went to school in West Columbia, Texas. Again, everything was all pretty normal. And then one day my mom went into the doctor and found out she was pregnant. And she was 40 when she found out she was pregnant and was shocked. They had no intentions of having a second child, but here I am, And so she was so excited. My dad was so excited. My brother, on the other hand, he had spent 14 years of his life being the only child, and, he wasn't thrilled about it per se, but he also loved to hunt and fish. And so if he did have to have a sibling, he really wanted a brother. Well, again, that didn't work out so well either. But I do love to fish, so that's something. He did get that. And, right after I was born, well, let me backtrack real quick. So on his 14th birthday, I was actually due on December 17th, 1984, but then I became 2 days late. And so luckily for him, he did get to keep his birthday. But the last birthday that he had with our parents, he spent waiting for me in the hospital. So it was pretty uneventful for him. Then after my mom had me on December 19th, she was released on December 21st. And then, of course, there's Christmas, right? And in my family, unless you were dead, you always showed up for family events. And so the story goes, she got in the back of like this hatchback, laid down holding her newborn, and drove all the way into Houston, which was like an hour-and-a-half drive at the time, just to attend the Christmas. And again, looking back, family was so glad that she did, because if not, they wouldn't have had that last Christmas with them. So that was really fun for them. And then from there, everything else was just going on pretty normal. We just kept going with our life. My parents were adjusting to having a newborn. My brother was adjusting to not sleeping, finishing out his 8th grade year in school. And then over the summer, he was spending a lot of time with his cousins down at the boat marina that my grandfather had built down in Freeport, Texas, called Bridge Harbor. And that was really it. Nothing super exciting. My dad finished a big contracting job in Lake Jackson, Texas, and the whole family had gotten together to celebrate, to go out to dinner. And that's kind of where it starts. So I will stop for now. Tune in for tomorrow for another update. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will, of course, always have to shamelessly plug. Please like, share, and donate if you're able to our Walk Like Mad team. We're still doing our fundraiser through the rest of the year, which is in honor of my brother. So we would really appreciate anything you could do for us. All right. Thanks, guys.